when you're selling something to someone, and really as a leader, you're always selling your ideas. You're selling yourself. You're saying, I'm someone who can be trusted. You can depend on me. Now, that's the secret, is that you want to build trust with the people you work with, whether it be on a team, whether as a leader, a manager, a salesperson. Building trust, that means people will feel, oh, I can trust him. He cares about me. I can depend on him. I'll get the best from him. That's what you want to generate in other people if you want to be successful as a leader in the workplace. If you want to motivate people to either participate in your work, to do things for you, to purchase your products and whatever, it's all about building trust is the foundation. So how do you build trust with women and how do you build trust with men? Well, this is where the differences come into play. And it's very, very important because if I want to impress you, if I want to build trust and I'm a man and you're a woman, my tendency is to follow the golden rule, which is give to others what you would want them to give to you. Well, that's a nice thought. It's a good thought. But ultimately, when you come to men and women particularly, what I want is not always what she wants. And what she wants and values most is not always what I want. So we often unknowingly sabotage our business relationships and our personal relationships. We sabotage them by thinking we're doing the right thing, but unknowingly we make it worse, or we don't get the full impact of our efforts to communicate, I can be trusted, I care about you, I'm the person for the job, I have positive regard for you. When you have positive regard for others and you trust them, it activates a part of their brain to trust you. Our brain will tend to mirror the input we get in, but it also is dependent upon our own needs. What are those needs? And this is where understanding men and women is very helpful. So let's start with some of those differences. Basically, it comes from the brain. It comes from the hormonal differences between men and women. One of those differences in the brain is there's something called the left anterior parietal lobe and the right anterior parietal lobe. And in every woman around the world, the right anterior parietal lobe is bigger than the left. And in every man, the left is bigger than the right. So this is we're born this way. Now, what does that mean? Now, so many of the differences between men and women, we can say are conditioned. Our culture sets rules. Men should be this way, women should be this way. Then certain things like survival set in. And often when women are alone, they have to take care of themselves. They become the man in their life. This is going to be the woman who is strong and independent, but often alone because she is the man in her life. And sometimes men, rather than coming from their male energy, if they don't feel confident that they can succeed, they come more from their female energy. The female hormones actually get activated. If a man, for example, is taking care of children for a long time, nurturing those children without some of their outlet, female hormones get produced, these nurturing hormones. But for a man, too much of that is not a good thing. The same thing for women. Too much of the male hormones is not a good thing. So what are these hormones that make us different? Testosterone is the hormone that is associated with the left anterior parietal lobe, which is bigger in men and smaller in women. Now, what does that have to do? The left anterior parietal lobe has to do with things. It has to do with fixing things. It has to do with mathematics. It has to do with driving a car. It has to do with anything technical, computers. Now, women have a left anterior parietal lobe, so they have all that too, and they can develop those interests as well. But their biology says the right side of the brain is more important to them. And the right side of the brain has to do with personal things, personal relationships. How do I look? How do I feel? How do you feel? Are you fed? Are you healthy? Are you cared for? Can I help you? That's the right anterior parietal lobe. And for men, the left is how long is it going to take for me to get from point A to point B? What is the solution to this problem? Let me fix this. If it's not broken, don't bother with it. What is the most important thing to do? And forget about everything else. That would be the left brain. The right brain is going to say, well, wait, if we do that, it's the most efficient thing to do, but other people might get hurt. We need to be careful here. So a lot of worries come up on the right side of the brain, and a lot of non-feelings for others comes up on the left. Now remember, as I'm saying this, we both have the left and right side. We also have the same hormones, but very different amounts. So when it comes to testosterone, it's called the male hormone. Why? Because men typically have 30 to 50 times more testosterone than women. If women were to have that much testosterone, they wouldn't be able to make babies. They wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Their mind would be worrying all the time about all the things that haven't been done that they have to do. Men's brains are designed and bodies are designed to need and to utilize and to use up testosterone. Women's bodies and brains are designed to have low amounts of testosterone, but they have testosterone, which says, I've got a goal. I want to achieve that goal. I want to do it in the most efficient way possible. However, the female hormones are estrogen. Now, estrogen says, I need help. It says, I depend on you. The female hormone is oxytocin. And oxytocin says, I can trust you. I love you. I care about you. I want to give to you. I want to receive from you. It's that personal relationship hormone. There are other male-female hormones, but those are the main ones and the main differences. Women have higher estrogen levels, lower testosterone. Men have higher testosterone, lower estrogen. Now, when men are lazy, when men are angry, when men are pouting, when men are passive and they're not motivated, actually there's a hormonal difference in their body at that time. Their estrogen level is too high and their testosterone level is low. Estrogen is saying, somebody should do this for me. I don't have to do it. So part of understanding how to motivate a man is recognizing he needs messages again and again and opportunities again and again to stimulate testosterone. When the testosterone goes up, he has more energy, he has more clarity, he has more motivation. But he also has to have training. He has to have a clear job description. He can have motivation and it will quickly go away if he doesn't specifically know what he's to do, that he can do that thing, and that he will be rewarded for that thing. The reward is very, very important. He has to know that there's some benefit to me or to others that I care about, and then his testosterone levels will go up. He needs messages to confirm that he is a success. Now, let me give you an example of one of the most successful bowlers in the world, throwing bowling ball, and it hits the pins. He always hits strikes. And they said, how did you get so good at bowling? And what he said was, well, I always feel successful at all the way since I was a little boy and I could barely roll the ball. And they say, well, what happened? He said, well, my father owned the bowling alley and we would bowl every day. And I would roll the bowling ball down, like 5, 6 years old. He was rolling the bowling ball down the pit, down the alleyway. And as the ball would go off to the side, his father would actually move the pin, 1 or 2 pins. So the little boy always hit a pin. So he had this sense that I can be a success. I can be a success. When a man feels I can be a success, then he has higher testosterone levels and he has more motivation. Failure or messages that you have failed will inhibit testosterone, inhibit his motivation. So in the workplace, we want to motivate men. We want men to be excited about their jobs, inspired about their jobs. And what it takes for men is to make sure that there's a request, there's a clear job description, and less criticism and more acknowledgement. Now, the old-fashioned way was not to acknowledge your workers and they would work harder. That doesn't work anymore today. Today, people are more conscious. They're more aware. They have to have greater acknowledgement to stay motivated if they're men.
Ea și el vorbesc, dar nu comunică. La fel la serviciu, la fel și acasă. Un lucru e sigur, degeaba vorbim aceeași limbă dacă gândim diferit. Se mai poate face ceva? John Gray spune că da. Autorul bestsellerului internațional Bărbații sunt de pe Marte, femeile sunt de pe Venus vine în România. Află de la el cum gândesc de fapt cele două sexe. Vei descoperi cum poți aplica aceste lucruri în relația cu colegii, șefii sau subordonații de sex opus, dar și în negociere, motivare sau leadership. Rezervă-ți loc chiar acum pe www.traininguri.ro. Locurile sunt limitate. Un eveniment marca Extreme Training.
Bun, nu facem cursuri de dirijat circulația la Polul Nord și nici despre cum să mănânci cu bețișoarele într-o stație orbitală, însă facem cursuri care îți pot folosi în viața profesională sau în cea care contează cu adevărat. Negociere, vânzări, trainer, manager de proiect, HR sau leadership. Intră și tu pe traininguri.ro și alege cursul potrivit. www.traininguri.ro. Garantat de Extreme Training.